What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Artur Beterbiev, unified light heavyweight world champion, Ukrainian superstar, Russian superstar boxer, Artur Beterbiev. He gets a stoppage victory, a 9th round stoppage victory over Sir Marcus Browne to retain his unified WBC IBF titles. Okay, this was a very, very sloppy fight. Okay, this was a fight where Artur Beterbiev, to me, he showed his age. Okay, Artur Beterbiev, he wasn't very, agile in this fight. Marcus Browne, he gave Artur Beterbiev every opportunity possible to be victorious. Artur Beterbiev had Marcus Browne. He was putting physical, mental pressure on Marcus Browne. He's now 17 wins, no losses, no draws, 17 wins by way of knockout. He's 36 years of age, standing 5'11" with a 73-inch arm reach, okay? So he gets a 9th round stoppage over Marcus Browne. But again, Marcus Browne, he gave up every advantage that he had. He clearly was the better athlete. He clearly was, the quicker athlete. He's a southpaw. He's rangy. 31 years of age, 6'1.5" with a 75-inch arm reach. Okay, extremely long arms, respectable punching power. And in the first 2 rounds, you can see he was turning Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev was having a hard time finding, Marcus Browne. But then Marcus Browne, he was doing the unthinkable. He was just lying on the ropes. He was backing himself into the corner. Okay, he was giving Artur Beterbiev every opportunity to be successful. He was giving Artur Beterbiev every opportunity, to take away his advantages, which was his athletic ability and his legs. Okay, they both suffered some big cuts in the fight due to a head clash, but there was also a left hand landed. But again, Artur Beterbiev, he looked very slow. He looked very predictable. He looked very lethargic in the fight. His punching power, he landed big punches on Marcus Browne. Now, we saw Marcus Browne on the deck by Jean Pascal a few times, okay, in their fight. And people deem Marcus Browne to have a suspect weak chin, okay? Marcus Browne, he got with well-renowned trainer Derrick James, who's trainer of the year, who has 2 unified champions, expected to make history tonight. And Marcus Browne just simply did not show up, okay? From the opening bell, he was in retreat mode, okay? He was very wary of Artur Beterbiev's power. He was very cautious of it, and he wasn't letting anything go of conviction. And he was obviously, clearly the better athlete. He used his jab. Artur Beterbiev was standing in with a high guard. He could not, he was too slow to counter Marcus Browne. But Marcus Browne, again, was giving up his advantages, backing himself into a corner, laying on the ropes, as he did right before he got stopped with a left hook to the body in the 9th round. He was leaning on the ropes with a high guard, not even peekable, because he wasn't even looking. He had his chin tucked down, his eyes to the canvas, and he had a high guard on like this, okay? He wasn't looking to counter. He wasn't looking to do much of anything. I was surprised the referee let it go that far, because I thought at some point in time the referee was going to stop the fight. That leads me to 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who's currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion, that being none other than Saul Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is now 58 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, 5'8", with a 70-inch arm reach. There's a lot of talk about Canelo Alvarez possibly facing Artur Beterbiev. We know Canelo Alvarez, he did campaign at 175 one time in his career when he beat Sergey Crusher Kovalev, who was the WBO light heavyweight world champion, 2-time champion, okay? At one point in time, Kovalev was considered to be, the boogeyman at 175, and he stopped Sergey Crusher Kovalev, okay? Who's bigger and more rangier than Artur Beterbiev. But with that said, Canelo Alvarez, he dropped back down to become undisputed at super middleweight. So he campaigned at 154, 160, 168, and 75 is where he became a champion. There's a lot of people linking Canelo Alvarez to Artur Beterbiev and possibly Dimitri Bivol. With that said, there's talks that his trainer, well-renowned trainer, Eddie Reynoso, who's trainer of the year, he petitioned the WBC, World Boxing Council President Mauricio Suleiman, to allow Canelo Alvarez to move up to cruiserweight to fight against Mukabu in the cruiserweight division, become a 5-division champion. Well, after seeing what I saw tonight, I've always been on record saying that Canelo Alvarez, he beats Artur Beterbiev, and I believe he beats the WBA light heavyweight champion Dimitri Bivol as well. Okay, and after what I witnessed tonight, I don't believe he'll beat Artur Beterbiev. I'm 1,000% certain he knocks out and stops Artur Beterbiev. Okay, I'm 1,000% certain that Canelo Alvarez beats Artur Beterbiev. I used to think that he beats Artur Beterbiev, but now I know he beats Artur Beterbiev. And this is an opportunity for a lifetime of Canelo Alvarez. Dimitri Bivol, 19 wins, no loss, no draws, 11 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, so he's younger, 6 feet tall with a 72-inch arm reach. Okay, he's a better pure boxer. He's quicker, he's slicker than Artur Beterbiev, so that may be a tougher challenge for Canelo. But Artur Beterbiev for Canelo Alvarez is an opportunity of a lifetime for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez can beat Artur Beterbiev. He'll be the unified 2-time light heavyweight champion, okay? And I believe a big fight with him and Dimitri Bivol in the unification bout will be a mega showdown for him as well. And that's another winnable fight for Canelo Alvarez, okay? Canelo Alvarez has the opportunity. Don't go to cruiserweight and fight and become a 5-division champion. Go to light heavyweight and become a 2-division undisputed, champion. Okay, he can be a two-division undisputed light heavyweight champion. Okay, 2-division champion. Okay, he could beat. He's already undisputed at super middleweight. Okay, he can now become undisputed at light heavyweight. Okay, I'm telling you, I know this for certain. Canelo Alvarez can win this division. Okay, he can beat Simu Kubu. Is a 28 wins, 2 losses, 25 wins by way of knockout. He was knocked out by Tony Bellew. Okay, but you have Joe Smith Jr., who's the WBO light heavyweight champion. Okay, who's 27 wins, 3 losses. He's 21 wins by way of knockout. Joe Smith is a good fighter, but nonetheless, Artur Beterbiev is seen to be the most difficult task at light heavyweight. And Joe Smith cannot beat Canelo Alvarez. Artur Beterbiev cannot beat Canelo Alvarez, and neither can Dimitri Bivol. These are 3 fights that Canelo had, 3 big fights for Canelo Alvarez to have at light heavyweight, and they're all winnable fights, okay? They're all big winnable fights. Canelo Alvarez with 57 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. He's powerful. He's accurate with his punches. He bends at the waist. He's slick, okay? He has great head movement. He has a great chin. He has power. Again, Canelo Alvarez can go to light heavyweight and become undisputed for sure. Okay, he will be a 2-division undisputed world champion, be a 4-division world champion and undisputed in 2 separate weight classes. History can be made. He became the first Mexican undisputed champion to hold all 4 major sanction belts in the Ring magazine. Now he's the lineal super middleweight champion, becoming the first super middleweight champion to become undisputed. He can go to light heavyweight and he can become undisputed at light heavyweight and hold all 4 major sanction belts at light heavyweight. This is history to be made. And then after that, he still can move up to cruiserweight before his career is over because he's only 31 years of age, okay? He can get 2 belts in 1 opportunity. Just like he became undisputed at super middleweight in less than a calendar year. He can do the same thing because of his star status and his power. He fights Artur Beterbiev next. He will hold the WBC and the IBF titles. He fights Dimitri Bivol after that, or Joe Smith Jr. after that, and become the unified champion, and then he can fight Dimitri Bivol. He can do so in the calendar year. Canelo Alvarez, he last fought November 6th, which means Canelo Alvarez, he could fight again in February. Okay, now Artur Beterbiev, he can't fight in February. He's just coming out of a fight, and he suffered a bad cut in the fight. But if Artur Beterbiev is available to come back in March, Canelo Alvarez can fight in March. Now, I know he likes to fight in May. in September, Cinco de Mayo weekend, Mexican Independence Day weekend. So maybe he could get 3 belts, right? Maybe he can get the fight. He still can get all 4 belts in under a calendar year, because if he fight Artur Beterbiev in May, and then he fought Dimitri Bivol in September, and then he fought Joe Smith in December, he can collect all 4 belts in a calendar year once again. Canelo Alvarez knocks out Artur Beterbiev. He stops Dimitri Bivol, and he stops Joe Smith Jr. History can be made. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
This is Amanda, the Real Deal Serrano, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.